Hello everyone and welcome back to our My Team, where this time we will be racing in Singapore. Now, as we could see last time out, we had a fantastic result for the team. We obviously won the race in Monza, along with Jens and Button getting on the podium in third place. So a double podium for our team last time out, first double podium as well. We'll be looking to keep the momentum going on that, hopefully get ourselves double points, maybe another podium, either for ourselves or Button. We'll have to see now. The weather looking dry for qualifying and the race. We have had a few upgrades come in as well. I think I saw a couple of aerodynamic upgrades there and an engine upgrade. Engine not so important at this track, but the aerodynamics definitely will help. And you can see on the chart we are moving closer and closer towards Red Bull and Mercedes, although McLaren and Alfa Romeo are moving with us. So we'll have to see where we can put the car in qualifying. Okay, into our first run of qualifying. I think I have actually changed it back to a normal qualifying setup, so we will have Q1, 2 and 3. As obviously if you've been following the series, the past few races we've been doing a short qualifying, but I thought this time out, with qualifying being so important at Singapore, I thought it would be interesting to go back to the traditional Q1, 2, 3 style. Now, we crossed the line for our first lap in Q1, and that was a 137.1, I think, and that's enough for 10th. Oh no, I was wrong, that was 137.8, never mind. And our teammate did a 137.3, so definitely not quite on the pace of our teammate at the moment. In Q2, we managed a 137.6, so we do improve by 2 tenths. We decide we don't need to go out for another run, and once again, that does put us 10th. So we have managed to get ourselves through into Q3. But our teammate is just so much faster than us at the moment. I find Singapore, like, you just have to nail every corner to get a good lap. Our first one was a 137.5, and I find, you know, you just need good car balance. If you don't have good car balance, you're not going to be very fast around this track. And qualifying, like I said, is vital because overtaking opportunities are few and far between. So where we start is likely to be pretty much somewhere around where we finish. I doubt we'll be able to make more than like 2 overtakes maybe, but this time round on this lap we have managed to find the pace and put a lap together with 5 tenths up. That was just under a 137 I think, and it's put us 7th with our teammate starting 6th as well, as he was able to go just a tiny bit faster than us. But 6th and 7th for our team, we should be on for some pretty good points in Singapore.
Against the spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, Formula One returns once again to do battle in what tends to become something of an endurance race, with the notorious sauna-like temperatures in the cockpit, making for an extremely physically challenging race. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here just 107 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, Paul and Perez, Ricciardo, Bottas, Leclerc, they've taken a grid penalty, and Fernando Alonso, Norris, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll, Joe, Button, Kevin Magnussen and Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon, Latifi, Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty, and Mick Schumacher. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
So we actually end up starting P5 because a load of guys have taken engine penalties, including our teammate. Once again, I swear he's having so many engine penalties, but it does mean that he'll be starting all the way down in 16th, so it'll be quite difficult for him to get points. But it looks like our strategy is going to be the normal medium to hard. pitting around sort of lap 18 by the looks of it. But we have parked ourselves up on the grid with the purple parking on the formation lap, and it is lights out and away we go. We've got Perez behind us, so we are going to have to be careful of him because he has had a lightning start and he's already ahead of us by turn 1. We brake a bit later to try and stay ahead of him, but he does have the inside line here, so he's probably going to get the move there. He has the better traction, and unfortunately he's ahead of us. We think about sending a move down the inside, but we decide that, you know, the 2 Red Bull guys up ahead of us are not our fight, because we also have Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari behind us. He is trying to go for a move down the inside. He definitely has more straight line speed than us, but we do have the traction coming out that corner, and we do keep 6th place. I mean, if we can keep 6th place the whole race, that definitely would be a good result for us, especially if we're able to keep Charles Leclerc behind us. It is not going to be easy, as you can see just how much speed he has. I mean, it's crazy how fast he is in a straight line. Obviously ourselves, we have put on a high downforce setup, so that's why we're slow in a straight line. But it doesn't matter too much, because Leclerc, along with Ricciardo, I think, in the McLaren, have gone into the pits. I'm guessing they got some damage somewhere. We didn't make contact as far as I'm aware, so not sure where they got damage, but that certainly helps us in our fight to keep 6th, because, to be honest, it was going to be a fight to the end with Leclerc to try and stay ahead of him. But the likes of Norris and Alonso in the Alpine, I think we should be okay. Now, DRS is enabled. We are just about within DRS of Perez. Depends on whether we will be by the time we get to the detection line. I think we should be okay, because the DRS indicator has come on and we have got it. Now, if we can try and stay within DRS of Perez, then we will be dragged along, but on to lap 4, unfortunately, we have fallen out of it. 1.4 seconds, and we've got Norris behind us, who is very close, and Norris in that McLaren, like I've said before, is just so insanely fast. He's much, much faster than Ricciardo. I know that's how it is in real life, but he's just insanely quick in this game. We are using the overtake, but he is just so quick in a straight line. I mean, we've both got the same engine as well. We're both Mercedes engines, but his one is just a lot faster for some reason. I'm guessing the AI are just using a lower downforce setup, which is weird in Singapore. You would expect them to be using almost Monaco level types of downforce. As you can see, he sends it down the inside, and he actually hits us, which is why we end up going a little bit wide. Yeah, he sends it down the inside, he does hit us, and then the end of lap 4, he has now gone into the pits. So seemingly everyone that has been able to be a threat to us, like Leclerc, Norris, maybe Ricciardo, they've just got damage, and then they've got into the pits, which very much does help us. Now on to lap 7, we are falling away from Perez. He's about 3 seconds up the road. Although lap 13, I'm guessing he had an issue, because we are now almost within DRS of him. It does say that lap 14 is now our pit window, even though earlier it did say lap 18 when we were setting up the strategy, so that's a bit weird. But it does say we should be coming in, as we have a massive moment coming out of that corner there, just about managing to catch the oversteer. But no, a lot of people have come into the pits, which means we are currently P4. We've got Stroll behind us, like 16 seconds. We do actually decide we are going to stay out for at least another lap. We'll try the overcut on Perez, because we are faster than him, or at least we were faster than him on the mediums, because we did catch up to him. So we'll try, maybe. It just depends on how fast those new hards are that Perez is going to have. Now we skip to the end of lap 15, and we have decided that now is the time to come in. We managed to get slowed down, and then let's see what sort of stop time we get. Hopefully there's no issues with any of the tyres. Looks like we've been okay. 2.4 second stop time, not too bad, but the overcut has not worked. As you see us coming out of the pits, and that is Perez up the road. I think we're even further behind than we were when we went, than when Perez went into the pits. Yeah, he's 3 seconds up the road now. That was down to like 1.3 maybe before all of the pit stops. So unfortunately the overcut strategy did not work. Doesn't matter too much though, because we are still in 6th place. We've got Vettel behind us on the mediums. I think he is still due to pit. So the next threat really is Bottas behind, who on lap 17 is now 8 seconds behind us. Albon's actually in the points currently, 12.5 seconds behind us. I think that is probably Williams' first points, and we zoom in on the map and you can see in the top right, George Russell has built a huge lead, like an absolutely massive lead. I don't know how he's done that. I'm guessing Hamilton and Sainz have been fighting quite a lot, and that's allowed Russell to just pull ahead, maybe, not sure. But he has built a huge lead, and now we see Charles Leclerc is making a bit of a recovery drive after pitting on lap 1, and he has got himself past Alex Albon, moving himself up into P8, and you can see behind them is actually our teammate, so means he is currently in the points, and he started in P16, I think. So if he can grab either a point or a couple of points, then that would be very good. And then we see a replay of our teammate now, trying to go down the inside of Alex Albon into turn 1. Although looks like Albon has got just a bit more traction than our teammate, and he's okay at the moment. But the very next lap, our teammate decides the outside line is the better line, and cuts across Alex Albon, and there we go. He has moved himself up into P8. So currently bringing home 2 points for the team as we skip to lap 29 and Nicholas Latifi is out the session. Doesn't matter too much because he is the Williams that is currently not in the points. So wouldn't really have made much of a difference whether he finished the race or not. And then skipping on to the end of the final lap, George Russell brings home the race win, and we bring it home in 6th.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Napoli Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
So there we have it, 10 points for our team. Not too bad. Alex Albon bringing home the first points for Williams this season, I think. Pretty short race there. Unfortunately in Singapore there just isn't a lot of overtaking, so we were pretty much just in a race of our own for almost the entire race. But in terms of driver standings, Jenson Button has lost out to Valtteri Bottas by 2 points. So it is close there between 8th, 9th and 10th. And then if we have a look at the constructors, we are obviously still in 4th, but the change that has happened is Alfa Romeo have managed to get themselves above Haas now. And then, like I said, Williams managed to put their first points, or point, on the board. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that fantastic stuff. And we'll see you at our next race in Japan.